This footage that we're about to dive into is actually concerning. We, the people, have never seen anything like this. If this shit can happen in this region, it can happen in another part of the country, possibly the United States.
Hey there, folks. Geology professor Sean Wilsey here, reporting on a tragic geologic event that took place along the northern Nepal border. You've probably seen a lot of these videos already. I'll show you a little clip here. This is from the BBC. This is right along one of these river valleys here, and you can see this massive flooding event, the flash flood essentially that came through.
Look at all those people.
You can see everyone just running, and then just things just gone. You can see all the cars getting moved. Just a tremendous, sobering amount of water just coming through this narrow mountain valley.
People are still there when this shit happened,
destroying everything in its path. I mean, really kind of graphic there when you consider the power that occurred there. We've got at least 160 deaths reported thus far, but still more than 600 missing. Roads and bridges.
And most of those people are dead, guys. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 1,000. All of those people that were right there that we seen running, they did not make it. They didn't make it. I seen this on TikTok last night before I went to bed. I was like, what the hell? We've never seen shit like this before in our life. This is something off of a movie, chat. This is crazy. This is like not no movie shit, even though it looks like something that off of a movie.
Were destroyed. You can see that with this clip here. Hydroelectric power has been compromised and taken out. Lots of infrastructure damage there. And obviously the details and the numbers on this tragedy will still go on for some time. Another quick clip here. This is an Instagram post, and this shows you more or less the overview of it. So you can see that flood just powering down this river valley here. This is probably some distance downstream, even where the mountain valleys fan out a little bit there. But you can just see how incredibly powerful those are. Just really incredible. Sorry about that.
That footage
anyway,
looks
so
like in
I think
a movie.
The main thing I'd like to focus on here is why. Usually when we think about flash floods, we think about heavy rainfall, which is a trigger for these types of events. But that doesn't seem to be the case here. I've cobbled together what bits of information I can between classes. So take everything I'm about to present to you with a bit of a grain of salt. I'll put whatever references and links I've found in the video description. But the details of this event are still playing out. There's still a lot to kind of put together to tell us exactly what happened here. So the interesting thing here is there was no rain in the area for the last 2 days, so it doesn't seem to be a typical flash flood triggered by rain. The initial reports we had were from the USGS showed a magnitude 4.4 earthquake in a nearby region. So there was some initial reports that you might see as you look at the news that there was an earthquake, a 4.4 earthquake, and that maybe that caused something else to happen that triggered this big flooding event. But the USGS went and analyzed that event as quickly as they could, and notice they now have it as a 5.2 landslide. And I'll just read this exactly here for you. This event was initially reported as a magnitude 4.4 earthquake. Additional analysis of long period seismic waves indicate that the seismic energy was instead generated by a glacial collapse and debris flow. So that seems to be the leading hypothesis right now.
That sounds fishy to me, I'm not gonna lie. First of all, 4.4 earthquake wouldn't do that much damage. Even in a very undeveloped area like that, like I've never heard of the Nepal region, so it might be like some kind of area where it's undeveloped, but as you can see by their infrastructure, they had concrete bridges, they had a society, like y'all seen the clip. It didn't look like it was undeveloped. You guys get what I'm saying? So a 4.4 earthquake wouldn't do that in general. You know, I've been hearing people in the comments on TikTok when I seen these clips, they saying it's a supernatural event. Basically, I'm assuming that the government is involved in this and they flooded this shit. That's why I said y'all it's concerning, because they know that these clips were gonna come out, people were gonna see it, and it's a way to kind of desensitize our minds for other crazy shit to happen, and we see it and we're not like super scared. I'm no conspiracy theorist, guys, all right? Even though it sounds like I'm putting out a conspiracy, but I don't know. I find this crazy.
As to what caused this thing. And furthermore, we have, so basically we've got the leading edge of this glaciers. Let's switch over to Google Earth and look at the area here in question. I believe it's up one of these valleys right here. Yeah, right in here. So you can see we've got this topography with these high mountain glaciers. We're well over 17,000 feet here, where these glaciers exist. And then these drop quickly. You can see where some of the crevasses are on these glaciers and these ice falls as it drops over this steep topography down these very steep tributaries and down to the main valley below, which is at like a little over 9,000 feet. So you have an incredible steep topography here. And so the current idea is that the leading edge of possibly this glacier right here collapsed, and that glacial collapse raced down this valley, smashed into the valley below. All that energy was directed into the ground, and that's what was felt. Not felt by people per se, but that's what was recorded as that 5.2 earthquake from this big glacial collapse and rock collapse down into the valley. And then as that ice comes down the valley, it's breaking up, it's frictionally heating, melting into water. And so then you have that all that material going down into the valley. There's maybe some ideas that it may have dammed up the river, forming a lake behind it, and then that catastrophically burst and went downstream, forming the incredible event you see.
I mean, I'm no fucking scientist. I guess that could happen. I guess. A glacier collapse, all the friction melts the ice, and then creates a lake. Oh! I don't know about y'all, and I wish I was a scientist, so maybe I'm making myself look stupid, but that doesn't even sound realistic. How can all this happen, probably within seconds, maybe maximum a minute of all this happening, have them melt ice and then create a lake? To me, that doesn't make any sense, but I may be looking stupid right now. I don't know, but I'm no scientist. Y'all let me know if you're a scientist and this makes sense to you, nigga.
There. So I do have a couple things here for you.
He might be working for the government. Who knows? Y'all got to keep your minds open.
Who's an associate professor at the University of Calgary, posted on LinkedIn some satellite data that kind of shows this area I was talking about, this leading edge of the glacier. He runs you through this kind of quickly, but he's basically showing yesterday, today satellite imagery. And you can see when we get to the today, he's going to show you this here. He's toggling between the 2 days there. That's yesterday, the 25th. And then right over here, he's going to show you this distinct break right here in the glacier where it seems like some of this material is broken off here. Now, as we look here, we've got kind of a cloudy image. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on, and I tried to reach out to him with a question or two, but I haven't heard back yet. So that's possibly the place where the glacier broke off, at least based on some of this analysis of this satellite imagery. Leading edge of this glacier broke off, collapsed down into the valley, turning into water, all that rock and debris damming up the river potentially, and then bursting through. And I'm not sure if it dammed up the river or if maybe the whole slurry just went downstream. There's still a lot of the story yet to figure out here. But I'll link these articles as well, which give you some clarity. This kind of links to
a glacier, and I get glaciers can be big. But the amount of water, you guys need to look back at that clip. We've seen it, but look back at it. I'm not crazy. That amount of water, the footage that he showed us, the overhead view of all that water coming down. Even a section of a glacier, I don't believe that it can make that much water. I don't. I could be wrong, which is fine. I'll gladly make a second part on this video if we get more information of me admitting that I'm wrong. But as of right now, my discernment, something in my spirit is telling me something could be off. Look at this news article that I'm just looking at. Glacier collapse may have triggered deadly Nepal flash flood. Glacier collapse may. It's not a definite, chat. Come on, fam. Use your brain, all right? I don't know what caused this shit, but in my head and spirituality, like, something's fishy. I don't think a section of a glacier can cause all this water to melt and create a big ass lake that floods people like this. That sounds unrealistic.
That satellite imagery that I showed you a second ago, as well as this news article as well, that kind of explains that same sort of process there. So really dramatic result. Let's also consider that this, unlike, a flash flood, which is mostly water, this event would have incorporated a tremendous amount of rocks, sediment, and debris, which makes that flood, that big wall of what we think of as water coming in. It's actually more dense than that. This is a debris flow, essentially. I think calling it a debris flow is more appropriate than calling it a flood or a flash flood, because it's got a lot more dense material in it than just water. But the effects of this thing went all the way downstream, affecting many communities there. I've heard of things.
Look at that. Did you guys see his mouse, the way he was flicking it down? Of course, in person, it may be large, but compared to the region that it flooded, how can that section of a glacier affect that many communities? Like, that's insane.
Of like helicopter airlifting people off of roofs, just a really tremendously powerful event. Going back to that initial video I showed there, that's about as forceful as I've ever seen any sort of flooding event, where it just slams into the buildings and then everything's just kind of gone there. So a very tragic day, a very sad event that took place there.
Very crazy
in the northern Nepal region, and we'll hope that they can find a lot of survivors there. But I wanted to shed just a little bit of light as best I could on the science of this event. Again, just cobbled together what bits of information I could. Would be happy to be corrected. Totally realizing I might be wrong here, but hopefully that sheds a little bit of light on this event that took place today. So thank you again for your patience and for watching the channel, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
All right, chat. Yeah. If you guys haven't seen that footage yet on your social media, you most likely will be, because this shit is something off of a movie. I had to hop on this right away. This shit just happened, and it makes me concerned. I'm not gonna lie. Not for only the Nepal region, but for, say, the United States. Y'all know the government be doing some shit where they show us certain shit to desensitize us, to prepare us for what comes after, what comes next. Okay, it may not be soon. It may be a couple days from now, weeks from now, months from now, years from now. Who knows? But this is what I do know. This won't be the last event that we see like this. There's gonna be more, and that's what makes me concerned. But this shit is crazy to me. Chat, if you guys made it to the end of this video, let me know what you guys think about all the footage that we just covered. Fam, isn't this shit crazy? Y'all like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, join the crew. You already know what it do, baby boo shoo. Ooh. You guys stay blessed, stay safe, stay prepared. I'll see you on my next video. Later.
Spinning the cake, riding the cake, give me the cake.